Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. In today's video, we are going to be doing a prospect breakdown of Utah State quarterback Jordan Love. Who'd like to get us started?
I'll get us started here. I first of all just want to say he doesn't get a lot of credit because he's from Utah State. Obviously, that not being much of a football school, that could have an effect on how you grade him in this draft. I know Ryan has a reasoning for that being a part of it, but I mean, I'm going to start with that point right there. I don't know if you can say, because there's been players that have gone to small schools and have been good in the NFL. Sure, he's not going up against the best competition, but he's lighting up the game. And while he's lighting up the game, there is a problem, though, because sometimes the interceptions can be a big problem for him.
Yeah, talked to the interceptions. 2 years prior, in 2017 and 2018, he had 6 in both of those ones. Then this season he had 17 compared to the 6, as I said before. So obviously 17 interceptions is not a good stat you want. That's more... Actually, that's not a true fact that I was saying. So I'll stop it right there.
I kind of want you to say it now. It'd be funny.
So 17 interceptions, not good. On the other spectrum of it, though, he did have 20 touchdowns, and he had 32 touchdowns the year before and 6 interceptions. So the year before, obviously, better stats overall. So, I mean, take that how you will, I guess.
Yeah, and I noticed that when I was watching film on Jordan Love and studying him, because he regressed a lot from last year. Obviously, you mentioned the touchdowns went down a lot, the interceptions went up a lot. That's a concern.
Interceptions went up 11, touchdowns went down by 12.
Yeah, so this isn't just a change of 1 or 2. This is a significant change, and I just think when I watch Jordan Love, he's been getting a lot of comparisons to Patrick Mahomes, and I will say sometimes I see that. Sometimes he's a very mobile guy. Sometimes he makes these plays where he moves around in the pocket. His release is really good on his throws. I'll give him that. He's got the arm
angle as
well.
Yeah,
that's true. That too. Yeah. That is true as well. And so sometimes I do see the Patrick Mahomes type stuff, but truthfully, I think that Jordan Love is about 30% Patrick Mahomes and 70% Jameis Winston, because the decision making is just not good, and it's not to the point where it's like 1 or 2 things here or there. This is like a constant thing throughout the game. The interceptions are a concern us, particularly when they run out routes. They ran that a lot at Utah State. He was just too easily read by the defenders. I remember one play against Colorado State in their game this year. He was just read by the defender. The ball didn't get there fast enough. Even on some of his plays, he has the right idea. It's either just he makes the wrong decision or he just can't get it there in time on some of those short routes.
Sometimes you're right. There are decisions that are made wrong. But here's where I disagree with you just a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm agreeing with him, like I just said, that sometimes throws don't need to be made. But also, you look at the play of his team, guys on his team, there's really no receivers that are well-known. Not many players that are
So how do you judge a guy
well-known.
Like that?
That's why it's a tough evaluation, Jordan. It really is. Because he has to make those throws unless he just wants to take sacks every play. Mm-hmm. So we don't know how this is going to translate to the NFL, but from what we've seen with arm angles and the stuff that compares to Patrick Mahomes, that part is impressive. What we've seen with the picks and just bad decisions is not impressive. So once again, I think this is one of the toughest evaluations of the entire draft class.
Well, I really think that some of the interceptions, they're just throws that he just misses, that he just makes the bad. I don't think they're always when he's under duress. I think there's times where he goes through stress and just flat out misses the throw or makes the wrong read. And I really think that that's a stat that I don't really think has to do much with what level you're playing. And I think you either have good decision making, you know what to do, you know how to read defenses, or you don't. I think that that's whether you're playing in the Mountain West or the SEC. I just think that that's the same. And the fact that, he almost has a 1-to-1 interception ratio again.
Yeah,
remember how I said he reminded me more of Jameis Winston than Patrick Mahomes, because Jameis Winston has talent. He's mobile. He's done some great things. He was awesome in some of Tampa's games last season. And you could say the same about Jordan Love for Utah State, but just the ceiling isn't as high as it could be, because sometimes you're only as good as your decision making, and I think that's the case with Jordan Love. I'm just not as high on him as many others, just because of the interceptions and the decision making. A few other things we'll get into later.
I think the ceiling for Jordan Love is really high. I also think that the ground level is really low for him. Because you can get so much out of him, and you see it in games with Jordan Love's, or even a drive with Jordan Love. he can have like 5 really great throws in a row, and there's throws throughout the season where you go, wow, that was a really good play. But sometimes on the next play, the ball just goes in the dirt, and you're like, oh, that's not what I saw at all. So it's inconsistency. You could pick out the best parts and say, okay, he's the best quarterback in the draft. You could pick out the worst parts and say, oh, this guy's really not that good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of fact if he can fix the mistakes in the NFL, and we're going to find that out in the coming year.
And building off of that, I just think that with Jordan Love, he does some good things, but there's just really nothing that quite sets him apart. He does some good things, but I feel like you could also say, oh yeah, there's another good prospect that's a little bit better than him that has that. Like, let me finish. I'm just gonna say real quick. Like you mentioned the arm strength. I think that Justin Herbert has a better arm than Jordan Love. Like you mentioned, mobility. Like Jordan Love is mobile, but so is Tua. So is some of these other guys that are going to go in the later round at times. So is Jalen Hurts. So just what makes him unique and what makes him worth a top half of the first round selection, like a lot of people are saying, because I just don't see it.
Well, to me, those things, you're right, but I think what sets him apart is why he's getting compared to Patrick Mahomes. The fact that he can extend plays, the arm angles that he has, he can be in the pocket or outside of it, and he's never really done until the play is over. He can sometimes sneak away and make a really cool-looking throw like we saw from Lamar Jackson last year, even as well. It's just his ability to continue plays on and to watch a game and realize, okay, until he goes down to the ground, anything could happen. Mm-hmm. I think that's what sets him apart from other players, at least in this draft class. There are guys that can do that, Joe Burrow being one of them. He's the top quarterback in the draft for a reason. But I think his ability sets him apart even from Joe Burrow a little bit, just in that aspect of it. I'm not trying to say Joe Burrow is a worse quarterback than him at all. Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in this draft class. But it's just that's what I think. And you're right, there's other things where it's just average.
Yeah. Just try to make it transition a little bit. You were talking about LSU quarterback Joe Burrow. Well, one of the only good teams that that Utah State played this year was LSU. They also played Boise State, who ended up ranked at 20. A few other teams that could have been close to being ranked, I guess you could say, but really, I don't know. But anyways, so just looking at the stats from the LSU game, there was 3 picks in that game from Jordan Love. Now, that's not all on him. It's a credit to the great defensive back crew from LSU. But 3 picks was the most that he threw all season. He threw 3 picks in, 4 games? No, 3 games. There we go. And then against Boise State, threw only 1 touchdown in that game. And in the LSU game, he threw 0 touchdowns.
I thought he played well in the LSU game, though. It's tough to score against the LSU defense for any team, and especially... Well,
unless you're like Ole Miss, because they
that was kind of a fluke.
He had a 50% completion rating with 130 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 3 picks.
Yeah, once again, you're looking at the stats. You're looking at the stats of it. If you actually watch the game, there's like 6 first-rounders for LSU, and a bunch of them being on defense that are on that team, and they're going against receivers that are probably going to be like accountants in a couple of years. So it's tough for him to get those completions, but you watch him in the game and he actually does a good job of keeping himself stable and keeping the game at least interesting. And once again, never.
It was 21-6 at halftime. To be there against LSU, I think I will even say that's.
So what you're saying is that they didn't score in the second half and they scored the same amount of points as they did in the first half.
LSU shutting out a bunch of opponents doesn't matter who it is. You can look at players and prospects that went up against LSU and didn't have any production.
Yeah.
Because that's just what they can do to you. That team is a whole nother animal.
That's what NFL players are going to do to you.
I mean, yes, but with that also, there's more teammates to help them. Mm-hmm. At Utah State, which we feel like I'm a broken record saying this, there's not a lot of guys that can help Jordan Love out, which is, again, why it's a tough evaluation.
So, I just want to get everyone's opinion on this. In our draft quarterback rankings, where does Jordan Love rank as QB what? Start with you, Tyler.
Well, I haven't quite exactly decided, but I can tell you for sure.
You gave me a rough estimate as okay.
Yeah, I can tell you for sure right now, he's behind Joe, Tua, and Justin. And I think he might be placed at 4 for me. That's me right now, but I still haven't finished evaluating completely all the quarterbacks. I've looked at them, got a little glimpse, but I want to make sure it's more fair to not Tua Tagovailoa, to understand where he would be. But right now, I would say he's 4.
Yeah, well, For me, again, I'm pretty much done with all the top quarterbacks. I'm just finishing up some of the day 2 prospects right now. And I think that I'm at a point where, as of right now, Jordan Love is my 6th ranked quarterback in this class.
Wow.
Who do you have in front of you? Fromm, and then who else?
I have Fromm at 4, Eason at 5, and then the big 3, which you know about.
Yeah, that's what Tyler said. I'd probably say Jordan Love would be in the 4 area. I just think that inside joke, you don't get it. But I was just continuing to look at his stats. Only had 4 games over 300 yards, and this is not like playing against teams that are not as good. I just find it such a tough evaluation, so I'll throw him at the 4 position.
Yeah.
A lot of people have him at 3. Some people might say at 2, whatever. No, I'll just back off of that, put him at 4, and see what happens on draft day.
Yeah. To cap this entire thing up, I'm just going to mention again, with Jordan Love evaluating him, you can't evaluate based off stats. It's really off the eye test. Me and Ryan have watched, I think you've watched the entire Utah State season.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right? And we've seen a lot of Jordan Love. We still have a little differentiated opinions, which is why it's tough. So, we'll see. Maybe Jordan Love proves me right and proves Ryan wrong. Proves Ryan right and me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. Maybe he doesn't even take a snap next year. Who knows where he goes?
Yeah.
Because in the quarterback draft class, someone's going to get left out of that first round that people believe is going to be a first-round prospect, and that might just be Jordan Love.
It was Drew Lock last year. So.
Exactly.
And a lot of early spots being filled up now by free agency quarterbacks, so it'll just be interesting. Also, I'm
continues to pile up.
Not going to throw out names right now because this video is going to be posted after you probably know more stuff than I do sitting here right now. So
about free agency, that is.
Yeah. About free agency,
yes, because you know everything about.
Yeah,
what we're talking
of course I do. Well, I know.
Okay. Okay, thanks for watching this video, guys. Make sure to like the video if you did like it. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and comment your opinions about Jordan Love down below. We have differentiating opinions. We'd like to know what you guys think. So with that, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.